think Paul's ready for us for the evening again. Thanks for everything, Paul. It doesn't just appear magically, everything that you do and bring to us on LDD for these meetings. It's awesome. It's awesome to actually have a little bit of momentum established now that we've had the second one. Yes, I will call it momentum, even if it's only the second one. I guess by the third one, we will have quite a bit of momentum. So I hope everybody has had fun trying to build some roads like we did last week, like we spoke about last week. I am going to hand it over to Paul to take us through the evening.
You might as well keep it. We want to see everybody's roads.
Oh, okay. Well, if I'm going to run that, then that's cool. All right. Okay. So let's just jump right in there. Who wants to go ahead and share theirs?
I'm happy to go for it.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, Luigi, we saw that you built what, like 15,203 of them?
Yeah, unfortunately not. But I did a 16 by 16 road. I don't know how well you guys can see it. I stuck my
just hold it still.
Dwarven Slayers. You're going to see a lot of them. I've got about 30 of them, so I intend to use them. So yeah, just going, I mean, it's the first time I've done a mills. So just going on what Paul told us, we had to choose a color. So I went with the red circle with the, what are these lines are on the side. I know Paul likes these in blue squares, I think. And then of course the connectors on the side. I don't have dark blue, gray, whatever you call it. I'm working with light gray. And then, yeah, I did my road with the grass on the side and then went over the top by sticking lots and lots of bushes along the plants. That was it.
Okay, there we go. Number one. All right, give us a look from the side. All right. It's okay. Hold it still. Whenever you move it, it blurs. Sorry, my iPad's really old. Okay. All right. Cool stuff. Okay. Seems like everything's there that needs to be there. You even have those really ridiculously expensive little twig pieces on the side of the road there. Everybody laughs at it like bulk, yes. Mine is virtual. Okay, cool. We'll get to yours now, Franz. All right, cool. Very nice. So let's run through a couple before, unless there is something that anybody wants to add or a Paul that you want to throw in there after seeing Luigi's.
No, I think we can just comment overall at the end as not to pick on anybody.
Okay, cool stuff. All right, so let's maybe go to a virtual one quickly. Franz, so you want to show us yours?
Yeah, I'll quickly show you mine. I don't know how to share it on the video though. Let's do this.
I've got your open,
share content.
Yeah, I think you can all see it if you download it on that little thing. Yeah. But what I'll do is I'll do this.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hey.
So basically, all I did is I just created a little wheel that was broken off.
No, I've just ticked it for everybody that you can share.
Okay, hold on, Franz. Just talk again so we can see yours.
Okay, so basically, there we go. I'm out of the way. So all I did is I just put a wheel that's broken off in a little road.
That's very creepy, by the way.
That's fine. That's the best way I can do it. So yeah. I tried something.
Okay.
100.
All right. Okay. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. All righty. Okay. Who's next? I know Peter is built. Peter.
Yeah, I'm happy to share.
Okay.
How do I share my screen? Share screen. All right. So basically, I built a few. So that's the first one. I hope you guys can see.
Yeah, we can see it.
So the idea behind these are like a very dilapidated road, like really trenched through mud and it's like in a snowy landscape kind of idea. So I've built a couple of modules.
Right.
If you assemble them all, it looks something like that in terms of a bigger landscape.
Okay. I love that you went with the snow idea.
Yeah, I thought like just do something different. Something that we don't really often very see with these things. So the idea is like at the end of a torrential snowfall season, everything's starting to turn into mush and melted puddles and water and that kind of stuff. And like roads are really trenched through and thoroughly starting to get dilapidated. So yeah, that's me.
Okay. Cool. Thank
I'll
you.
share it in the group, then you guys can have a look.
There you
Sorry.
go. All right.
Peter, what did you use for the water?
It's just 1x2 clear tiles.
Okay,
I'm
the
sure-
render doesn't show it very well.
Let me go into the model quick. Then I can show you guys a little bit more in depth. So it's basically just some clear tiles inside each one of these,
Okay, cool.
and then using wedges to sort of get that idea of the cut in the landscape. So yeah, that's
All right.
me.
Cool stuff. Thanks, man. Nice one. All right. Okay. Kin, you keen to share yours,
All right.
Kin? Are you keen to share?
Hi. Let me try. Studio. Share. Right. Not sure whether. Okay. Is that fine? Or...
No, we're not seeing
No,
anything
we
yet.
can't see it.
I think your video is off.
Oh, do I need to actually open my video?
No, you just have to share
don't
your
know.
screen if your video is playing. There's a little green share screen. If you move your mouse,
Share.
There we go.
there
All
we
right.
go.
Okay. Yeah, just a simple one. So
All
I didn't
right.
render it. Yeah, this is two. I did a deep. Oops, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that's. I don't know. I just trying
Okay.
to play. Yeah,
There
trying to
you
play
go.
around. Yeah.
Nice one, Kin.
Okay, thanks. Okay, cool.
Okay, it's quite. I just want to make Kin. Can you, before you go off there, can you
Yeah.
go off to the right and go back to the one at the top that has
That
that's
one.
got only the straight lines?
Okay, yeah, this one.
Again, just for a second, wanna point out how different it looks when it's just the regular straight line from where it kind of you break the line.
Yeah.
On the left or the other ones. It's just because it's so in your face when you see the difference next to each other like that. All right, cool stuff.
Thanks.
Who goes next?
I can quickly show mine. It's already standard. I didn't
you go,
do
Rich.
much crazy landscaping like everyone else. The only thing is kind of like this flat parts that I thought would look nice with the wheels. But yeah, so what I'm thinking is, since the next topic is kind of river, I would break part or a part of this off and just do a river and a little bridge for the next homework. But yeah, very basic. The DBG.
Okay.
That is more than 16.
Okay, cool. So Richard, is that a 32 by 16? Or
Yes, it's 32 by
Yeah.
16. That
Okay.
All right.
I don't know where it
Cool
came
stuff.
from, but yeah, it was in my drawer.
That's a nice to have. That's a nice
Yeah.
to have. As we were discussing the other day, these days it seems like it's nice to have a couple of 16 by 16s lying around, the base plates, and a couple of 32 by 16s. And some people I know even have other sizes that I've, that don't exist anymore, I think. But anyway, Paul. So yeah,
Yes,
all
Paul
right,
Rodman.
great stuff. Is that Paul Rotherham? Does he have them lying around?
He has everything.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Who wants? Does anybody else want to share what they
Looks
bought?
like Freddy's iPad setup.
Okay, I'll go after Fed.
Okay.
So mine's fairly simple. So that's the generic road that you've got coming in on this side. And then if I just pan through, I'm keen to understand how we're going to be doing these rivers going forward, because this needs a lot of work. So that's going to be lacquer. And then, yeah, that's it. I mean, I use the big old tiles from like bulk, and they are actually rather big.
They are big, but they look good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a 3x3 tile is interesting. I was trying to do the track thing here, but I'll probably still work on that. I think once I get water texture done better, I'll be able to add more texture to the rest of the funniness that we got going. But yeah, that's it. And just for scale, there has to be a crock in it, right? Otherwise, it just doesn't work. So this is also part of the bigger build that's busy happening out there. So that's all road and stuff.
There you go.
Are we getting there? Yeah.
Cool
Thank you.
stuff, man. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. All right. Who else was? I heard somebody else saying I'll go after Fabi.
Yeah, I'll try. Give me a second. Let's see. Can you see? Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so that's just the render.
We can see the screen.
Yeah, I just tried to do a bit of a muddy patch, muddy sandy area with a little bit of water and rocks or little stone pebbles in between. But I'll have to try and figure out how to get the water maybe from the edge, bring it in more from the edge to into the actual puddle kind of thing.
Yep. There you go. All right. Cool. All right. Anybody else? All right. Okay. If that's everybody, am I on? Hello? Can everybody
You're
hear
there.
me?
You're there.
Okay. For some reason, I am not showing anything on my screen. Okay. I'm going to switch quickly. I don't know why. Hold on a second. I just want to see why I'm not picking up anything on my iPad.
We can see.
We can see.
Can you see what I'm showing?
Yeah,
But
we
I
can
can't
see.
see what I'm showing.
Yep.
Okay. So this is really frustrating. Give me 1 second here. Okay, there we go. Now I can actually see. Okay, so what you guys are seeing here, I've just grabbed one of the plates that that came out of the current project I'm working on. So what I want to show quickly is just a bit of what I was talking about earlier. Let me just get these guys out of here. Kind of like the broken line. So you'll see a lot of wedge being used or wedge plate being used to break lines up. Lots of 1x2 parts coming out and or 2 studs coming out. Little 1x1 round tiles or 1x1 round plates used to break, big corners and where you would like to actually have more of a flow in what you're seeing. So you'll see, just as we explained, it's gone down a plate, and making sure that on where I know I'm attaching to my own plate, I don't really mind where it is, but where I'm attaching to somebody else, just remove that as well. On this side, I know that I am on the standard. Now, as Paul mentioned last week, the standard being what it is, if it differs one stud, it doesn't really matter because it's still going to stay in the flow. This is a very simple road. As you can see, I've got no mud puddles or anything, but I do have changes in the height of my terrain all over the place. So basically trying to emulate nature that'll never be flat. Okay. Now, as we saw in some of the builds that you guys did, there was quite a nice bit of the different terrain heights. But what I've done here is I've kind of just built a base for myself to know exactly, you know, I can do different things here, and then I can yeah, I guess I'll take it from there. So also notice that last thing here, you'll see that the grass is usually a plate level up from where the ground for the road is. Just thinking that the road would have been trampled on, the road is, you know, pretty much going to be lower than the area around it. And there you go. It's all very random when it comes to how it looks inside. Okay, cool. I'm going to open the floor to questions. If anybody wants to ask a question, I'm sure there are plenty of people here that are able to answer them. Just pop that back around.
Can I share mine?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay, you guys most probably know mostly of what I have. I did show you everything last week, but I started playing in to see how wide I could get the road. So I took it right to the edge, which will still work when it connects up with a, when it connects up with a neighbor. So that road would still work. I just wanted to see how bendy I could make it in a stretch. Then I started playing with texture and depth to try and make it look even more worn. So make it deeper. And then, like Peter, I decided to try a centerpiece. So this road's not as well traveled as some of these others. I think back then you would have had something more like this with lots of ruts. You wouldn't have had such a smooth road as this. You will notice I don't like using the wedges so much, just because they're hard to come by, and I tend to like to keep them for a special purpose. Plates are a lot easier to come by. So mine tend not to have all those nice little angles you guys do on, especially on Peter's, but his was in Stud.io, so we know how he got all those parts. So I would tend to keep the pieces for something special, like this, where I try to create a bit of a donga, South African word, in this road, and just to see if and how it could be done. And then I just added a little path. Obviously, people are going to be walking around it now that there's a big hole in the road. So that's mine.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Paulie. All right, guys, shout. Anybody want to chat? Anybody want to comment? Anybody want to ask a question? Tell a lie? Nobody? There we go. Christian?
Hi, everyone. So I'm obviously new, but
welcome. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm Christian, or just Chris is fine. I'm kind of approaching this from 2 levels of learning. So weirdly enough, I actually studied in ancient history and medieval history with that. So that's the one approach. The other approach is I'm actually now studying to be a vet, and part of that is learning about pastures and how animals eat pastures. So on the first point, I think what the hand, I'm sorry, I don't know his name. Is he Paul?
Paul. It's another
Hi, Paul.
Paul, yes.
Paul or Polis. But as Paul said, medieval roads and indeed ancient roads, if you want them to look realistic, and that's up to you, they have to be a bit convex, rounded down. Is it convex or concave? I always get confused, but they need that kind of wear pattern with the dongas in the road, especially if they're swale roads. And we see that a lot with ancient roads. We see that with Roman roads that have been built so well that they're still existing now and still being used now, but they still have that kind of upside down U shape with the cart tracks making dongas in them. So I thought that was quite a lovely touch, actually, because it's very realistic and that's how it's going to work. The second kind of thought I had was, again, it depends on how realistic you want it, but grass, when it's being grazed, isn't going to look the way maybe that we think it looks. It's not all going to be flat and all going to be level, and you're not going to have these consistent levels of grass plates. You'll probably find that some grass bushes have been left a little bit longer depending on what species has been grazing them. So if it's cattle, maybe a little bit longer. If it's sheep, a little bit shorter. So there might be some height variation in the grass that we see, and maybe that's something we can build. But again, it's up to everyone. It's a personal choice completely. But if you want realism, maybe that's something you can look at.
Cool. Thanks for sharing.
Awesome. My new
There we
best friend,
go.
Chris. You'll be getting a lot of questions.
Yeah, Chris, you'll find. By the way, my real name's not Dude. It's Villy. So if you have anybody that will be interested in that, it will probably be Paul. So a lot of us.
I also just want to say I found that super interesting, and this is the sort of thing that we need right now. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
It's very
Thanks,
kind.
Joe.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you'll find that a lot of us build differently. You know, some go really into the detail of it and want to do it realistically, and some kind of like just imagine what they would want to have their landscape look like, or what they would have, you know, their buildings look like, and whatever. It's kind of like this is the castle group, but it's almost like a medieval fantasy type, you know, thing. So so that kind of input is really, you know, really awesome to have. Thanks a lot, bud. All right, coolio.